That one time the traveler suspected that a piece of meat was missing from their bowl, that was the exact expression on your face.
Who dares attempt such a flagrant display of impropriety by releasing a kite into one's territory without one's permission? Oh, and to do so by making use of this crude piece of mortal machinery. One simply must know who it is that possesses such impertinence.
This Fontanian device of mechanical motion is quite curious indeed.
Now is hardly an opportune time for your musings. Someone among us was not sufficiently attentive, and now the kite has vanished. Perhaps it is mere happenstance, but one feels a certain sense of dread at the thought.
Your concern is misplaced. On the subject of said kite, however, one simply must remark on the genius of its windlass lift technology. One cannot help but surmise that its ingenuity rivals that of Cloud Retainer's creations.
Still thy tongue. If Cloud Retainer were to hear you profess such a thing, we can both say farewell to any further use of the Supreme Cuisine Machine.
One presumes that this kite belongs to you.
Huh?
Regard the situation with which we are now confronted. This is all your fault.
One's fault? One seems to recall that releasing the kite was no solitary endeavor. Say something, Mountain Shaper. Surely you can think of something to appease her.
Further explanation shall only fan the flames of her wrath. It would be better to stay silent and retire at the earliest opportunity.
We can hardly avoid her forever. That may suffice during Lantern Rite. But what about the Moon Chase Festival? Sooner or later, she will discover our true identity.
Hello?
That is not our kite.
Oh, so an adeptus such as oneself is mistaken then?
Ah, you're an Adeptus? Please forgive us for any impropriety. I truly possess no inkling of who could have released a kite into your esteemed domain. Pray, who could be responsible for such wanton behavior?
Verily, verily, we were but delighting in the surrounding scenery. This locale is home to such exquisite... mint!
Mooncarver? Mountain Shaper? What are you doing here?
It is of no consequence. Long has one seen through their disguises. One was simply curious as to how long they would keep up the act.
Then you are not angry?
How could one feel anger at the sight of two old friends enjoying themselves? One is also well aware of how enticing these city novelties can be.
It seems that one's concern was misplaced after all.
Then, should we continue flying the kite?
A splendid suggestion, but it would be advisable to change locations.
Perhaps your mountain would suffice? It is more than spacious enough.
A fine idea. A fine idea indeed.
Halt! Who goes there?
It appears that one's movements were overly conspicuous.
Enough of your musings. Focus. Focus on the matter at hand. Present your exquisite ornaments at once.
Indeed. Bring them forth readily and without protest.
Leave this to me. I'll handle them.
A thorny foe indeed. Let us depart and seek a target softer in blows and disposition.
Away! Let us away!
Coming!
Bandits? Acting in broad daylight? Oh. Ah, I see.
You seem quite young, Mr. Zhongli. Yet you speak with such wisdom. Perhaps I have misjudged your age.
Your words are too kind. Truth be told, one of my old friends has several grown daughters. Rather than fretting about their future, however, she prefers to let them find their own way.
Then she's more easygoing than I could ever be. I fear I lack such an open mind.
It's you. I thought you were Director Who.
Ah, your arrival is most fortuitous. Do you want to try out this new gadget?
Am I wrong? Or has she once again sent you out to buy, what is it, sesame oil or something?
Many hands make light work. Perhaps you could test out the other kite for me?
All right. I have made my comparisons. If speed is what you're after, the mechanical kite is the better choice.
Wonderful. I shall pass that information along to Director Hu. I'll leave these 2 kites with you. Perhaps you can find a few friends with which to partake in the activity. You might find it to be an enjoyable use of your time.
Oh, wait. Who enjoys kite flying?
Sit, Shenhe, sit. You must be tired from your journey. Shall I pour you a cup of tea, or would you prefer something else to drink?
No need. I'm not tired.
Has work been busy during the holiday season? Do you need my help with anything?
Drunk guests can sometimes cause trouble, but I deal with them as you taught me, by pinning their heads against the table.
Oh dear. While one was busy orchestrating this act, one seems to have forgotten about Shenhe's various eccentricities. What I meant to ask was, have you made any new friends? We live so far from each other. It would be a great comfort to me to know you were surrounded by good companions.
You already know of my past circumstances. Recently, I've been conversing with Guoba in the kitchen at night. Guoba can't talk, but his companionship is a comfort.
I guess maybe Gaming is not doing so bad after all.
How about we do something fun?
Like we used to do when we would carry stones up and down the mountain from dawn until dusk, picking herbs to eat for dinner along the way? If that is what you ask of me, then that is what I shall do.
Dad, here, have some tea. Or no, wait, let's not have any just yet.
Yeah. I simply can't listen to that any longer. We could grab dim sum together from time to time.
Huh. I didn't know dim sum was such an important affair, Master.
Shh.
Master, did I say something wrong earlier? I tried to go along with your questions, but when I saw how you and that man reacted, I started to wonder.
Not at all. Certain unforeseen variables may have presented themselves along the way, but the outcome proved favorable. The plan was a success.
Then I helped?
Naturally. Your purity of spirit is one of your greatest strengths, Shenhe. You need not change who you are.
My name is Charlotte, and I'm a reporter from Fontaine. You can find me writing for the Steambird. I invited you here not just to purchase your fine tea, but also with the hope that you might be willing to sit down for a short interview. What do you say?
Is this person also involved in your plan?
Over here! Yoo-hoo! Over here!
Chi-Chi, we're almost there!
Okay. Come here, allow me.
What's that?
have I taken that many pictures already? I need to load more film.
Wait, the wind.
Oh my gosh!
Mommy, I want a big kite like that too! Do you see that kite way out in front? It's so beautiful!
Happy Lantern Rite. Happy Lantern Rite.
When you have time, we can grab dim sum together. Your treat, right?
Dad, honestly.
No need to be shy. Even Farina was shouting from the top of this mountain earlier.
That reminds me. I believe what she actually said was, "So help me, I will figure out what I should do about this script."
I think so. We ran into Nervalet on the way here as well, but he was already on his way back, so they probably weren't together.
What? You Fontanians and your tea drinking.
Oh, it's not for me. I lost a bet with Ridesley, and now I have to buy him something.
You didn't really buy 10 boxes, did you?
Please, do I look like someone who would fall for that sort of marketing trap?
The last time I spoke to her, she mentioned that she would be visiting Chaoying Village in a few days. If you have the time, perhaps you could also make the trip. If you happen to run into her, you can pass along your regards in person.
Oh, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Seems like our luck just keeps on growing.
That we were able to meet you both without prior arrangement must mean that this is quite the serendipitous meeting indeed.
Huh? Oh, so both of you are acquainted with the Traveler in Paimon then? I'm pretty sure you didn't learn that one from me.
Given your proclivity to spread good deeds wherever you go, it's no surprise that you would make the acquaintance of a celebrity as illustrious and celebrated as Miss Farina.
That's quite high praise. What I mean to say is, you flatter me, Mr. Zhongli. Although I've built up a certain following within Fontaine, it is no reflection of strength or wisdom. I stand before you right now as nothing more than an ordinary traveler in search of beautiful scenery and creative inspiration. There is definitely more to Mr. Zhongli than meets the eye. I could tell as much from our conversation earlier. Given his breadth of knowledge on both academic and worldly matters, there's no way he hasn't heard about what happened in Fontaine. Is he just feigning ignorance for my benefit?
No. Aiya, you're no common tourist.
Huh? Does that mean Hu Tao also know?
You may not have heard, friends, but... Miss Farina is now one of my esteemed clients. Yep.
Paimon is so sorry for your loss. Although
Whoa, it's not like that, Paimon. Huh? Really, Paimon. It's not like you don't know me. Do I look like I know anyone who would ask me to coordinate their funeral? Miss Hu Tao is simply helping prepare some props for my film.
Paimon never thought Nervalet would be...
I'm sure he didn't get lost. Even I was able to find my way to this place without any trouble. He was already getting ready to leave by the time I arrived. He just wanted to ask someone about the quickest way to get back to Fontaine.
He was stiff as a board and way too polite. I would have never guessed he was here on vacation if you hadn't told me.
All in all, he was only here for half a day. I'm pretty sure he is the only one who would consider that to be a vacation.
Oh? This gentleman you speak of must keep a demanding schedule.
I'm sure he does. You didn't see him, but he was dressed like he was about to attend some important meeting. It wasn't anything like what someone would wear on vacation.
Is that so?
Wait, you didn't see him, Zhongli?
Unfortunately, no. At the time, it appeared as if Director Hu and Miss Farina were having quite the productive conversation. I know matters of business can take much discussion, so I decided to fetch some tea for them.
What a shame. That gentleman seemed like a sophisticated sort of guy. I actually think you two would have hit it off.
Is that so?
If he's really that much of a stickler for protocol, he can fill out a leave of absence request. He'd have to approve it himself since he handles that sort of thing now, but you know what I mean.
It seems like your friend still has a lot of growing to do.
If I remember correctly, he's already several thousands of years old. You're quite right, Miss Hu Tao.
Oh?
When are you planning to head back? Do you need us to escort you?
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary. I mean, you're not my subordinate anymore. You don't need to look after me.
I didn't mean it that way. It's normal for friends to travel home together if they run into each other on the road.
Exactly. Just like in those ghosts.
My dear demoiselles, ladies, no, I mean friends, please take me with you.
Of course.
I'll treat you to some dim sum in the city.
Oh, so it's basically a tea party. Oh, well, I bought some tea, of course. I just had to try all the varieties recommended in the Steambird. Other than that, just some bits and bobs, you know. A little bit of this, little bit of that. They should all be things I can use, I think.
If you bought that much stuff, where did it all go? And
Oh, actually.
Monsieur Neuvillette took them with him.
If only the funeral parlor had an employee as thoughtful, proactive, and responsible as him.
Indeed.
It just seemed like you were a bit preoccupied today, and much less talkative than usual. You barely said anything other than, "Is that so?" and "Indeed." If you ask me, I'd say you're having a midlife crisis. You're getting to be around that age after all.
Is that so?
Ugh.
I jest. Surrounded by such peace and tranquility, I also seem to have developed a proclivity for inactivity. I apologize for making you worry.
I see. What do you think, Traveler? Is this atmosphere putting you in a lazy mood too? Wow, you are getting really good at these kinds of lines.
Indeed.
Just a simple gift delivery, and she has the great and mighty Udex at her beck and call. This quantity of tea, though, seems a little excessive for a gift, don't you think? Before you know it, they'll start accusing me of taking bribes.
It was buy 10 boxes, get half off.
Ah, that explains it then. A stone slate, engraved with a symbolic design.
While that is an apt description, it is in actuality a legal codex.
A legal codex, huh?
During my travels recently, I chanced upon a roadside stall offering tourists the opportunity to try their hand at the ceramic arts. So I decided to have a go. We joked with Clarence some time ago about gifting you a legal codex. So, here you go. Of course, while I was there, I also took the opportunity to taste the local spring water. If you want to experience the true flavor, you simply have to go to the source. Perhaps I should organize some time off to do the same elsewhere. In the past, I never thought about how quotidian vessels were crafted. But now, I have participated in their very making. This is also something I made today.
that's a ladle? Paimon thought it was supposed to be some long-necked sea creature.
That was indeed one of my inspirations. Really? You like it? Around such an important holiday such as this, human custom would dictate that gifts should be in order. But I'm afraid this is all I can offer. If you'll have it, that is. That is precisely why it would do me such a great honor if you accepted. Approve a leave of absence request for myself. That sounds like it could easily lead to a vicious cycle of self-indulgence, something which couldn't be in further violation of protocol. But I suppose I understand her point.